EGB, your esports betting world. The only place to find the widest choice of popular games and matches to win real money. Choose your bet on a single event or express of several matches with dizzy odds. Serving the market for 7 years with over 800,000 users. Join now to get your bonus for the first deposit up to $600. EGB, you know for sure who's gonna win.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Dire team pick.
Dusk.
Dire team pick.
Warchief.
Radiant team pick.
Shadow Demon.
Well, guys, and welcome back to game number 2 between Nemiga Gaming and Veni, Vidi, Vici. It is exciting best of 3 to see who gets to play in the Arena of Blood Season 2 tournament, as we are in the last, what could be the last match of the qualifiers, certainly the last series. Before we start though, a message from our sponsors. Guys, our partner EGB.com gives you an awesome proposal. The first deposit bonus of up to $600. At EGB.com, you can also find convenient service, daily quests, and a bonus system. Interested? Click on the banner under the broadcast to learn more. Now, let's get right to it. Veni, Vici, Centaur, and Shadow Demon to start off with Nemiga with the Tusk. Alright, I like the Centaur. I mean, last time they also played Centaur and it didn't work out, but I still like the hero. Centaur with Shadow Demon is really solid lane as well. Very, very strong lane, I would say. In addition to some very good mid-game tactics, because you have both Stampede and the Disruption to disengage, which is really good. So if they go for like AoE stuns or some sort of AoE control, Stampede counters it. Whereas if you go for single target stuns, then Disruption counters it. So it's a good way of having all the save you would like. The choice for Nemiga, though, is interesting. Tusk and Enchantress are their choices. Tusk, I think, is one of the best position for, still to this moment, of the meta in general. Really, really solid position for. Deals a lot of damage, has really good team fight in general. So it's a position for to be wary of. The Enchantress, on the other hand, is actually a really smart counter against the Centaur Warrunner. She is able to dispel that Retaliate when it's activated on Centaur, which means you don't have to really worry about it whatsoever, unless Centaur really calculates around your enchants, which is hard to do because it's a very low cooldown spell. She's also capable of course, hitting the center with her creeps, which is fantastic, really helps to not actually add retaliate stacks, and she is fast enough to evade most shadow poisons. Her turn rate is really good as well, so I don't think Enchantress is going to be in trouble of Shadow Demon hurting her too much in the early game. Especially with the new Enchantress, she's actually much weaker to physical damage early than magical damage, so Shadow Demon is not too much of a worry for this beautiful Enchantress.
5 seconds remaining.
So let's see. The Man of the Rookie by Nemiga and Veni, Vidi, Vici. Fifth ban. What do you need to get rid of here? I mean, what are you worried about? Timbersaw? Sure. It's not something that really... Honestly, I wasn't really thinking about Timbersaw, I guess, because he's the Centaur counter to some degree. It's kind of hard to tell where Nemiga is heading this. For Veni, Vidi, Vici, it's kind of clear they want to play around the mid game. Snap would have actually been really good, but I don't mind a Lich. A Lich is nice, or a Grimstroke. A Lich or Grimstroke are nice as a position 5. Probably a more solid position 5s they could run here, Veni, Vidi, Vici. I know it's Screen though, so Screen does have a very peculiar pool of heroes. Both his Coddle, Snapfire, Undying are all gone, which are very Screen heroes. Chen's gone, Enchantress is gone, all their Screen heroes, so... I know he also plays Disruptor, maybe that could be the idea. I would just like Screen to go for a Grimstroke though, or a Lich. Particularly a Grimstroke. I think Grimstroke's really solid. Double Demonic Purge is very good. There we go. I like the Grimstroke pickup. Double Demonic Purge is really good. Double Edge, ironically, pardon the pun, it's fantastic actually. And he also gives you there's not many supports position 5s nowadays that give you stuns, honestly, or reliable stuns. Grimstroke give you a way to deal with very mobile heroes with his Soulbind, because it's essentially like a quote-unquote long stun that stops mobile heroes, so it's very, very useful there.
5 seconds remaining.
So I like the idea of the Grimstroke pickup. You also open up your draft as Veni, Vidi, Vici to all other heroes that you want to maybe draft here. What I like to see by Nemiga would be, for example, Legion Commander. Would love the Legion Commander here in the offlane for Nemiga. I know it's not particularly a hero they love playing, but I think the Legion Commander is very, very solid. The duel, yes, is annoyed by Shadow Demon, of course, but then you're saving someone, like you're already wasting destruction just for the duel. So it's not that great of a loss. And oh, there we go. Lycan. Oh, Lycan's the pick. Oh, the K. This is an Odin effort here. I love the Lycan. The Lycan's still very strong in the current meta, even though the changes didn't benefit him too much. The changes made heroes that are item dependent, like Lycan, for example, because he depends on Necronomicon Helm of the Dominator, much weaker. But at the same time, the changes made the game faster. So Lycan is much stronger at playing without items, and he really only needs Helm of the Dominator, and he's already ready to fight. He's also a good hero against Centaur, because you just kind of trade farm. Enchantress and Lycan is a force to be reckoned with, because Lycan can buff your units as well. No, not buff them, but Howl is just a good way to make sure Enchantress deals damage. Have a lot of pushing power. It's good overall. It's a very, very solid pickup here by Nemiga. I'll also like Lycan with Tusk, because Tusk amplifies your damage further and has a save in the off chance. The only issue with Lycan is the potential Soulbind, but most of the time Lycan kind of plays alone, so he's not a hero that usually gets Soulbound to anything, because you can't Soulbind to creeps. So Lycan can just kind of come from behind, try to kill the Grimstroke. If he gets Soulbound, it's no big deal. If he gets Disrupted, no big deal either, to be honest. If you're wasting a Disruption on Lycan, I mean, this opens up avenues for Beastmaster, Legion Commander, these kind of heroes that would usually counter Centaur, but are countered by Shadow Demon. Because if you're wasting Disruption on a hero that's being dueled or whatever, then Lycan is going to kill you immediately. And it's just easy for him. Especially with the Necronomicon now, that actually purges the Ghost Scepter, so you can't really counter him with that. What's going to be Veni, Vici's answer to Lycan?
Radiant team pick.
Ember? I mean, yeah, okay. Mobility plus a way to deal with him. The score is seen, by the way, by the little tickers here. You notice this little ticker's a yellow bar here? You know, like there's a yellow bar and there's no yellow bars with Veni, Vici. That's a score. Nemiga has won one game, that's why they have one yellow bar. That's no need to ask, just watch the stream. The Ember Spirit, interesting. I mean, it's a way to deal with the Lycan to some degree. I guess. He does take advantage of the lack of stuns in Nemiga, which is, again, why I want a reliable stun in this team. Legion looks just too good right now. I know Shadow Demon counters you. I don't care, man. They have so much use to Legion Commander. In fact, her press the attack is really good again with Lycan, because Lycan has really bad agility gain. He has 1 agility per level. So he actually really has terrible attack speed. Press the attack actually gives him the attack speed he kind of needs most of the time, so it's kind of useful. Shadow Fiend's the answer, though, to actually counter the Ember. Very good here in the mid lane to counter the Ember, and I hope Melojewel can play it. If you force the Ember to be a carry, not too great. It can still be... It can still be done, though. It can still be done.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Last ban here by Veni, Vidi, Vici, and Nemiga also have to do the same thing.
Radiant team.
The Underlord. Interesting. They banned the own Lycan counter. Okay. Oh no, that's because they want to put Ember. I'm still big fan of Legion, because Legion also cancels the Ember potentially as a pick, as a carry. So I just, yeah, just pick Legion, man. And Veni, Vidi, Vici, they need a carry, I would say, honestly.
10 seconds remaining.
You know, I know it's a weird pick, but seeing as you're up against a Lycan, I kind of like the Sven. I actually would like it if they went for the Sven. PL. PL's not a bad option, but I like the Sven more. Sven's really good against Lycan. He's a bit nerfed, though, recently, because he's a bit too item dependent. His core is way too expensive. You could run an Ursa and run him as like an aggressive try against Lycan, but then you lose the mid game against Lycan, though, unfortunately. So let's see. Let's see if that's the Legion that comes out.
10 seconds remaining.
As a pick for Nemiga. I don't think you should be afraid of Shadow Demon countering you. Really, you really should not be afraid of that. That's just... If you're getting countered, if a core is getting countered by a support, just very limited. So, let's see what they opt for. What other heroes that I wouldn't mind seeing in the offlane? I mean, it's just... I actually wouldn't mind seeing the Earthshaker either. Yes, I mean, why do I even bother guessing? It's the Legion. Of course it's the Legion. It was the right pick. Thank God. That was the right pick, though. Nah, I'm really happy about this, Nemiga. Really happy about this. A couple good guesses. And then Veni, Vidi, Vici has to go for a carry, because you run the Ember Spirit carry, you just can't. You know what? Slark kind of work? No, because Duel destroys him. It's just what's good against Lycan, honestly. Besides the Sven, I don't like. What's a good carry against Lycan? Lycan kind of counters most carries, to be perfectly honest. You can't need a carry with a stun. Like even something like a CK would not be crazy. You gotta think outside the box is what I'm thinking, because any of the traditional carries are not gonna work against Lycan. Maybe we get Naga, but she's a bit too slow. But you could run. I think Naga's not that bad actually. Song to counter the Legion, to also get ready for the Lycan and set up for a stomp or Searing Chains or whatever. Actually get rid of the shapeshift. I actually don't mind the Naga Siren. Alk.
Choose your hero.
Okay. I'm assuming Alk to be the carry though. Yeah. No. They give it to Ember. Okay, so Ember's gonna be the carry, and then Alk is gonna be in the mid lane position. Alk is not good against Shadow Fiend either. Like he could just go jungle, I guess, but Shadow Fiend's gonna have an easy lane. No problem. Usually Alk cannot withstand his damage. But I guess both of them are weak, so it's not like you have a better lane mid. I don't understand the Alk pick, though, if you're going to get crushed in the mid lane. Alk is very strong right now, though. Because his Grievo's Greed didn't get nerfed or changed. With SD and Soulbinder, don't LC and SF get countered? Good question. Actually, I actually want to answer that. The reason why the SF doesn't get countered too much by the Soulbind, to be honest. I mean, like, yeah, you can technically get the disruption on Shadow Fiend, but honestly, it's not that easy because you can just go for BKB on Shadow Fiend. It's not really a good counter. But for Legion, it's a good point that you make. The thing is, when you're drafting, and this is something a pro player told me, is the idea is that you don't usually wanna get countered by a support. What I mean is, if you're planning on picking a core that goes well with your lineup, which in this case Legion does, the idea that you're getting scared away by a support pick is really bad. You don't want to do that. Like, there's exceptions, like for example Ancient Apparition and Alchemist, right? Because there's a hard counter. But it's not like Shadow Demon completely counters Legion. In fact, in lane, Legion does really well against Shadow Demon because you dispel the Shadow Poison. Legion is just really solid this draft. It's very good. You need a Dispel because you have a bunch of roots and very few stuns. So Dispel is really good. In fact, you have one AoE stun. Dispel is super valuable. The extra attack speed with the Lycan is fantastic, especially when you're pushing. You kind of need a hero that dominates the lane and has a good transition from there. Can also have versatility. Legion is perfect for that. Like, she is ideal for this matchup. The only problem, of course, is disruption. But even though she does get countered by Shadow Demon, she's really good against Centaur. Because heroes... The thing about Centaur Shadow Demon, why it's such a good combo, is not just because disruption sets up into Stampede or to Hoof Stomp or whatever. That's the basic stuff. But when pros see this combo, the reason why they like this combo is because Shadow Demon counters single target stuns or single target disables, and the Centaur is a counter to AoE disables. Why? Well, because Stampede allows you to run around, so it's hard to actually get multiple people in the AoE, and the single target is the best way to counter that. However, of course, Disruption naturally counters that. Oh, most nice raises there by the Shadow Fiend. Early Wolves as well, and the Lycan are supposed to go in for Shapeshift. Okay. Oh, sorry, for Feral Impulse. So the point is that I think here you kind of have to sacrifice the potential counter of the Shadow Demon on the Legion for the countering of the Centaur in that sense, and I think it's worth it completely. It's a good point, though. It's a good thing to consider, and it's a good thing to understand why these things are the way it is. No draft is exactly perfect, and this is what makes the draft much better, I think, for... Oh, nice tag team, though. I think he finally did their Centaur. Tag team will kill him. Good job. And they even stopped ferving. They're not gonna stop him. He's gonna get the rune, too. Oh, no, the rune was taken by Alk. Okay, this is what your mid laners should do. But anyway, they got first blood, which is not bad. So yeah, overall, I'm siding with Nemiga's draft because their draft is much more solid overall, and there's a clear synergy, whereas I'm not really seeing the synergy where it comes to Veni, Vidi, Vici's draft. I do think Nemiga is a stronger draft. It's mainly this pick in the mid lane. I think that running the Alcus as a Shadow Fiend is a massive mistake. I would not want to have this lane. He's a melee hero with little disengage mechanics against a hero that deals burst damage and destroys melee heroes. Like, Alk particularly is weak against burst damage as well. Oh, he missed those last hits. That's really unfortunate. So it's not like Shadow Fiend's bad against him in the mid game either. You know, it's not like a situation where, oh, Shadow Fiend is good against you in the laning stage, but then he starts to... No. Shadow Fiend will beat your laning stage once he gets level 2 or level 3, and the mid game is going to go completely in his favor. In fact, I would imagine a Yule Scepter build here for Melo Jewel as well. Going for Yule Scepter into BKB, most likely. I would love that. Yule Scepter is also really good against Stampeding Centaur, so always useful. Oh, no, Shadow Fiend, do not miss that many last hits. Oh, you're gonna miss that too. Oh, that's terrible. I don't have an Instagram, but I do have a Twitter. It's not that. It's just my name. It's just at DSwordfish. At DSwordfish, you can find me. But cheers for asking. Oh, no, the command is not working. Just at DSwordfish, yeah. His name is in the title, at the end. Literally spelled like that. Bottle first from Melo Jewel. Not bad, not bad. I don't mind this. Like, obviously the early game is going to go a bit favored towards Alk because he's a melee hero, but it's really the level 3 onwards. And the thing about Shadow Fiend is also he's a very snowbally hero, so that's what concerns me as well. They have a very snowbally draft on Nemiga, and also a lot of comfort picks. Like, if people don't know about the Nephrit Lycan is... Oh, the camera even lost the kill. In the top lane, Aggressive Child actually died to this combination of Legion Tusk. And it's just Ember's so bad against Legion in lane. I don't understand why Veni, Vidi, Vici always... I don't know if it underestimates the lanes or ignores the lanes altogether in the draft, but I've seen so often they will lose the lanes. And there's no need to play this way as well. Like, they could run the Ember mid and accept that they're losing mid lane, but now they're running a hero that loses mid lane mid, and then you're running a hero that loses top lane as well. It's very odd. Yeah, you can. I think Alk does have options to play this lane. You're seeing this here. Like, Alk is actually playing this lane quite well. Melo Jewel, of course, missed a lot of last hits. But what Alk is doing really well is that he's taking advantage of the early levels, and he can just go jungle. So it's actually not as bad as I was expecting initially. Of course, leaving SF alone in lane is not great, but it's okay. It's okay if you're an Alk because you take much more out of it than the SF. In fact, SF might die here in the mid lane. I think they're diving him. It's hard to tell. They're gonna kill the enchanters for sure in the bottom lane. with a Shadow Poison. I mean, if she doesn't evade it, if you're really close to her, it's really hard to evade. So you have to be careful. Bottle is finally coming on this SF, and now this matchup will change hands a bit. What I'm surprised is there were no rotations there, interestingly enough. SF can start hunting the Alk as well later. Yeah, this really lacks the armor though. The minus armor from the Alk can really burst down the SF. When it comes to the SF versus Alk matchup, you have to kind of think of what is the... Like, who's getting the jump, right? And this matchup is very much who's getting the jump, because they're both kind of burst damagey heroes. Alk is much more tanky, but not to an SF. And it'll show here in the mid game. But it all depends of how much farm Alk can find. I think the Radiance timings for Alk should still be around the same, because he's a hero that farms quickly, but he's also a hero that has Greeble Screen. So the 10% change is not really impactful. Screen is going to go down here in the top lane again. Another kill that they get. Nemiga, very well done. And managing to keep this top lane at bay is super important for Nemiga. Nice rune, by the way, there. Super important for Nemiga, because if the Ember gets out of control, you have now your Space Creator ready. The Centaur is not really the best Space Creator. He is a good tank, and he's a good hero to combine with Space Creator, but he himself lacks the damage most of the time to actually get kills. He lacks the last bit of damage. Ember is really important for this. Look how much they're committing to this Ember. They want to kill him off. They should have healed the Tusk there, but I guess they cared more about managing to kill the Ember. Ah, nice missing of the Searing Chains. In the bottom lane, they do manage to kill the Centaur as well. So you're actually losing both bottom and top for okay lane in the mid lane. Which I wouldn't say you're winning by too much, but bottom and top is definitely being lost. And cancelling the space creation here is super important. Alk will still take a long time to come online. You're right, SF does have a hard time coming back into the game. He's not especially because they nerfed the jungle recently. Or, I mean, I guess they didn't nerf the jungle, they nerfed everything, but jungle farming is now much, much weaker. Not relative to everything else, but he can't farm as quickly. The thing about SF though is that he is a hero that has, I mean, I think he's very item independent nowadays, to be honest. He is a hero that relies much more on levels. So as long as you can't get kicked out of lane, and this is why it's so important for SF to get kicked out of lane. That's why giving him the free lane is so dangerous. Not so much because he's getting a lot of farm, because he's not. I mean, it's okay. You don't really care how much of an SF farm, but because you give him a lot of early levels, and that's concerning to you. And Alk going jungle is fine just because he has Greeble Screed. But you're going to give a lot of experience to this SF, and he's a much better space creator. And there's something also to say about the drafts, right? Nemiga's draft comes online around the same timing, whereas you have much more of a ladder draft when it comes to Veni, Vidi, Vici. Okay, I think they can kill the Centaur here. They have an enchant. They don't have the mana, but they're dealing a lot of damage to him. They're looking for the last hit from the shockwave. Can they get the Hadouken out? They can. They're gonna hit. Yeah, that's gonna be a Hadouken. Goodbye, Centaur. Another time killed by Fervian. Fervian is just cancelling him in lane. It's really smart, this Enchanter's pick. I love it. It's also a Fervian special. He loves this pick, so it's really solid. Okay. With this, SF has been getting kind of free lane now. We'll see when he starts rotating. We don't really know what build he's going to go for. I would be a big fan of the Yoster into BKB, but I could see it also justifying a Wanda style build, maybe, or maybe just straight BKB, which is also fine actually this game, just for quicker. Another kill onto screen. I don't think green screen can last this, by the way. Attack team. They don't care. They don't care about your Inkswell. In fact, Snowball to evade it. Very well played. And you get him killed. Now they go for Aggressive Child as well. As in the bottom lane, Yoku's in trouble. So they're trying to go for two heroes at once, and I think it's working for them. Yoku actually might just die here to the SF. Yep, yeah, Camera's trying to catch both. Yoku's dead in the bottom lane. Chosen one. Still chasing after them. In the bottom lane, actually, they're continuing as well into the Centaur. They're waiting for the tag team. They have it finally, and there's no way you can get away anymore. Ember trying to slide a fist, but it only delays the inevitable. As the Centaur also dies in the bottom lane, they're getting kills everywhere. Nobody is safe on the Veni, Vidi, Vici team. I came, I saw, I died, apparently, because you don't have time to survive these engagements. That's a 3k lead for a team with a Lycan. That is concerning. And this poor Alchemist has not even started building up. Oh, that is a weird build. Choosing to go for double bracer when your team is slower, and this has nothing to do with the Alk pick, but your team is slower. You're up against a Lycan Legion SF. They are going to fight you as soon as they can, and you have two really good tower pushers in the Legion and the Lycan. Nice TP. Very, very smart. So because of this, I'd argue that you really should be playing as fast as possible, going for the Soul Ring straight into the Radiance, not going for the Bracers, because you're not going to fight before you have Radiance anyway. Chosen One is in trouble though here. I think he might go down. Magic One is available, but he already used the press the attack. So fortunately, you cannot get rid of those Searing Chains. That was not the best play. He used press the attack a bit too early to heal back up, hoping it would help him out. It did not work. Okay. There we go. With little Wolfie. Wolfie Wolf doing his job. Yoku. Yoku. Oh my god! Oh my god! Yoku's actually getting body blocked by a single creep and he can't get away. Oof. This Wolf, man. He is sticky like the girlfriend I've always wanted to have. Just doesn't let you go. Astro. I mean, they give it into the Alk, but luckily it's an Enchant Wolf, so it's not that big a deal. It's not like it's a Helm of the Dominator. And right now, forcing these rotations are perfect because Lycan is capable of taking towers on himself by himself. He also went for the Helm of the Dominator and is actually really well underway for that Necronomicon. He's beating the Alchemist in farm. And once he gets Shapeshift, he's not going to have any trouble hunting the Alk. We talked about how little agility gain the Lycan has. Alchemist doesn't have good agility gain either. His armor is piss poor and he's incredibly weakened compared to a Lycan, especially with a Howl. Remember, guys, at the ideal points, you know, that you want armor to be at, the most impactful points are usually from the -5 to +5. That's when armor really matters the most. Each point of armor at those points give you the most damage amplification or damage reduction, depending on what side you're talking about. So the Alk actually stays around that threshold quite often, unless he goes for some sort of armor item, because he doesn't really get much agility. And the Lycan actually reduces that even further with a Howl, so he's actually perfect. He deals a lot of damage again. That disruption was pretty good, but does not save Yoku. And they kill him with a raise. Very well played there, Emerald Jewel. And that's what Nefrit does. This is the advantage of your draft. This is why I was surprised by the Alk going for this build. Because now you can just continue to fight, and the Ember's not ready to create the space that he should be creating. Because he got cancelled in the mid lane, in the top lane, sorry, by Legion. Legion, by the way, who is soloing a tower in the top lane, trying to get some pushing power in. She acknowledges that she doesn't see anyone on the maps though, so she leaves, which is very smart. And they do see the Alk bottom lane, but they don't want to waste the shapeshift yet. They found the Alk stack. They found the Alk stack. This is the Ancient stack. I don't love stacking Ancients on Alk though. I think it's much better to stack normal creeps because they fall faster. But Ancients are one of the few neutral creeps that are actually worth anything on their own. So yeah, they stacked both things. So actually, this is really huge. They took the Ancient stack. Especially because he gave it to Lycan, so oof. The thing about stacking Ancients is that when you stack a normal camp of creeps, if you take it, you're taking away from the Alk, sure. And you're getting a small, oh, there's a Stampede into Lycan. Is that Lycan alone? Yeah, Shapeshift, okay, can he get away though? Can he get away? When he stuns, he's gonna die to the Demonic Purge, brutal! He does get Necronomicon before he dies though, so he didn't lose much gold there, but still. So the thing about stacking Ancients or stacking normal camps when you're with an Alk, here's my logic and why I'm saying what I'm saying. If you stack a normal camp, if someone else takes it, they get a small amount of gold, because honestly, jungle creeps really don't give much gold anymore. But if you, they actually do manage to take it away from the Alk, right? So it's still a detriment to the Alk, but it's not really a positive to the enemy team. However, if you stack an Ancient camp, the enemy team loves taking that camp, because they get almost the same amount of gold as an Alk does, relatively. Whereas the Alk losing it is, again, a big deal, but you're actually getting much more out of it. So most of the time when you see an Ancient camp stacked, a team is much more, I guess, encouraged to try to take it and waste a lot of resources to take it. Because that camp is worth so much for both sides. Whereas the small camp is only really worth a lot for the Alk. Okay, I don't know if they can kill him. They do use the Walrus Punch. Okay, stays in the air for a while. The Inkswell is not going to save him. Tag team is brutal. And let's not forget, by the way, that tag team is physical damage. So it does tread through the Alk. Especially with Howl to go with it. Oh, Lord, how well they're playing this. And Nemiga is actually playing this really smart. It shows that they're very comfortable with that Lycan pick. Can they kill Yoku in time? They cannot, but they're still going to kill him. Just not going to get the dual damage from it. Chosen One wants to fight against the Ember. They don't have, unfortunately, tag team, so they can't quite kill the Ember, but they're going to keep him at bay. And they're forcing these rotations. What they're doing right now is just letting the Lycan push in the top lane alone. And they're saying, sure, you want to attack us? Sure, attack us mid, but let our Lycan push, which is what matters. And we are seeing an SMY build from Emerald Jewel. So still an early-ish build, but definitely not the BKB build. It's not a rushing build, right? It's a early, more sustainable build, kind of jack-of-all-trades build. I like this. The Alk is really, really late on the Radiance as well. He's not been doing too well this game, unfortunately. Okay. I would say really late, because honestly 12 minutes in, I'm expecting Radiance by now. He's not even close. Yoku, the target. Ice Shards, not going to find him. Shapeshifts will use just to try to catch someone. But I don't think they're going to find anyone. Oh, perhaps a Centaur. They purged him with a creep. That's perfect. Centaur now in trouble. The Snowball will catch him. Ember's trying to keep the enemy team at bay. But the Lycan doesn't care about your Ember. The Lycan just destroys your Centaur. And the Ember was there for the duel, which allows them to get an extra kill, which they didn't deserve on the enemy carry. In addition to some dual damage, of course. And all this time, the SF has been pushing the top lane as well, so you gave space to the SF so he can recover a bit as well. And he manages to take a tier 2. No problem.
Dire's top tower is falling. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Gotta take the Roshan now, Nemiga. It's quite easy for them because they have tag team plus Lycans, Zoo. So remember that Zoo units don't actually trigger tag team; it's just the heroes. But it is tag team just regardless. It's very powerful. The Age of the Immortals given to Mellow Jewel. I think that's actually kind of appropriate. Like that Chosen One is kind of taunting. Am I gonna go for the Haste Druid? I'm not. It's gonna leave it to Mellow Jewel. Much better because he has Bottle, of course. We have Shapeshift in 30 seconds. Chosen One might just jump in though. No, you don't have Blink actually, so no, he's not gonna jump in. I don't like fighting without Shapeshift though. I think they should definitely wait for the Shapeshift. Even though you're winning by a lot, there's no reason for you to rush this, right? It's 50 minutes in. The Alchemist is not doing well. He doesn't even have the start of the Radiance. Honestly, he's struggling a lot to find farm. Those dual bracers plus the treads condemned him. I don't mind the treads. Actually, treads kind of help you farm. But if... No, actually, I do mind the treads. I would have rather just gone for Soul Ring, Acid Spray everything, and stacks everywhere. Just try to find farm for that Radiance, because you need to be activated as soon as possible. We're gonna find a dual target here on screen. It's just an easy kill, but more dual damage. Honestly, I don't think they should be wasting dual for these kind of engagements, because you're playing quick. So even though dual is a relatively low cooldown, you kill the support for your duel, which is not great. You kind of want to use the duel on Ember or something like that, and the damage doesn't really matter to you because you're going to play a quick game anyway. But whatever, a kill's a kill, so it's not really like I can criticize him for that mistake. Honestly, I think if they were doing that and they didn't get the kill, we would also criticize him for that mistake. So whatever. And then go here in the mid lane though, as the Alchemist pushes in the bottom lane, close to getting his Radiance. We are seeing that their Lycan is trying to. Alchemist, sorry, is pushing the bottom lane. Lycan is trying to push in the mid lane, get a range Rex. Overwhelming odds will keep the enemy at bay. We do have duel almost there. See, this is what I mean though. Now they don't have the option to really initiate properly. Press the attack is right. They have Shapeshift as well, by the way. And that's Shapeshift level 2 for Nefrit. So a bit more powerful. Better critical strike. I think it's 175% damage. To be very careful. Whew, that Shadow Poison hurt. A Mellow Jewel had the bottle luckily, so he's gonna be fine. They've already taken the Rax in the middle lane, so now it's time to take the last tier 2. And they know where Alk is firing more or less. They haven't smoked to get him. And this actually, I like what they're doing right now. This is the right choice. A lot of teams get really flustered by... Oh, wait, Ember? Is he in trouble? Well, they're going to find... No, they're not going to find him. Legion was nearby, but... I'm not sure if Legion has Blink yet either. So a lot of teams get flustered when you see a Lycan or an Alchemist, sorry, or an Anti-Mage, for example, and they try to catch him out. And it's actually kind of difficult. These heroes have good mobility, usually good map sense. They're going to TP immediately because they want to play defensively. So catching them out is not the way to play against them. Most of the time, you actually want to just push towers and force them to play aggressively. You want to force the enemy team to defend with all their heroes. So that when the Alchemist has two options, actually. Oh, this is a really bad team fight. It's for the two supports immediately. The duel is here for the Centaur as well. And that is just going to be the easiest team fight for them. GG. There you go. Call it. They play this really well. They play this fantastically. So, Nemiga, congratulations. The draft was really bad of Veni, Vidi, Vici. They got run over. I was completely corrected on my drafting implications. The Alchemist pick was not a good one. They kind of went for a Hail Mary with the Alchemist, and it was not okay. So, this means that Nemiga will be making it to the Arena of Blood Season 2 tournament from these qualifiers. Congratulations, Nemiga. And congratulations, or thank you for playing Veni, Vidi, Vici. Please, next time, though, don't rage quit before you just call GG. and just wait for the game to end. It's proper manners. It's just a nice thing to do. Anyway, guys, it's been a pleasure. My name is DSwordfish. I've been your caster for today. Hope you enjoyed the cast, even though it's been really short. And we are going to give one last shout out, guys, that we have to give you guys for the sponsors. So this is the shout out as they destroy the throne. I guess they're not calling GG. This is, again, really bad manner. Don't do this. And just call it. Anyway, guys, our partner AGB.com gives you an awesome proposal. First deposit bonus of up to $600. At AGB.com, you can also find convenient service, daily quests, and a bonus system. Interested? Click on the banner under the broadcast to learn more. Now, thanks for staying with us all this time. As always, we are trying to make our best to make you entertained. Don't forget to subscribe if you like the stream, and if you don't, subscribe even more to see how you can improve the next broadcast. It's been a pleasure, guys. Hope you enjoyed the cast, and we'll see you guys tomorrow with some more Dota 2. Until then.
EGB, your esports betting world. The only place to find the widest choice of popular games and matches to win real money. Choose your bet on a single event or express of several matches with dizzy odds. Serving the market for 7 years with over 800,000 users. Join now to get your bonus for the first deposit up to $600. EGB, you know for sure who's gonna win.